This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You could win up to 325 times your entry with their Pick 8. Sign up with promo code GOLFSGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. Underdog Fantasy promo code GOLFSGPN. Also brought to you by Rhythm. Build your own betting model using their AI Caddy engine. Claim your seven-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Moonoff, the Machine, Manji, and Chris are getting you ready for the NFL season on the Propcast. They got episodes dedicated to season-long props and the awards market. Plus, check out CJ Sullivan and his road to 10 million on the Bottom Line Bomb Show. Tune into wherever you get your podcast or head over to the SGPN app. Okay, now this one's for the real grinders, the real dirt balls, the real let's win money guys, the real ball knowers, the ISCO. DFS picks, DFS preview, course preview. Talk a little bit more about the course, whereas I didn't on the Renaissance show because that is not my title. I'm not the guy who's going to tell you the ins and outs of the course. I can if people ask, but we have the very talented and skilled and knowledgeable Steve Kramer for that here at the Golf Gambling Podcast, and there's plenty of places you can do. I provide my very niche knowledge and mine. I feel like I'm just the guy who's the contrarian guy who just rambles a lot. But sometimes he wins. He wins though. Sometimes he will win here and there. So the ISCO, formerly known as the Barbasol Championship, is an alternate event, a course that an event that's been going on for a while, and an event that we will see a ton of birdies in, similar to what we saw at the John Deere Classic and the Rocket Mortgage Classic. But there's different ways to get it done. Last year's leaderboard looked a lot different from the leaderboard 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, Trey Mullinax got the job done. And looking at the stat profiles from the guys in the top 10, it was a ton of guys gaining on approach, gaining putting, which makes sense. That's usually how birdies are made, like playing out of the fairway, gaining approach, gaining putting. Now, last year, it was guys either bombing the driver and just getting hot with the putter or just getting super hot with the putter and short game. It was very odd the way it panned out last 2 years. But at the end of the day, I think you can either stick with one narrative, sprinkle both. But I think if you're looking for players to target, it's got to be I'm personally going to go with the hit the fairway and lean on your approach game to make birdies because for multiple reasons. Like historically, that is how you make birdies in Birdie Fest outside of the true bomb and gouge courses. And although Keen Trace, like we've seen guys get it done, there's still penalties to be made. You can still lose a ball, you can still get wet. So I'm gonna go with the hit the fairway. From there, you're good. And that's kind of what we saw. Similar profile to what we saw at the JDC. If you like guys at the JDC and they're in this field, even if they didn't play well, you liked them last week, go with your gut and keep that rolling. Because the worst thing is to have a real hunch on someone and be strong on them at a similar place and you jump off them. Like, for example, I bet Ewan Ferguson 3 straight weeks on the DP World Tour. I didn't bet him this past weekend, and he won. And he's got good numbers. He's anywhere from like 40 to 70 to 1. So definitely kicking myself for that. Lost a ton of money just not doing that. So I'm going to be leaning on guys that I've liked the last 2 weeks at both the Rocket and the JDC. There's similar paths in both of the courses and guys who just aren't scared to take it low and don't get caught up in you need to – I worded this wrong. I don't think you should play any Giga Chalk guy because this event is super, super volatile and a lot of odd things can happen. So I think the strategy here is to – spray the board in betting. I'm just real quick on betting. Spray the board in betting. Don't go up to the favorites. And then in DFS, don't play anyone super chalky because just as easily as they could T10, they can miss the cut. So let's bring up the odds board. Let's bring up the leaderboard. We have 4 golfers over 10K. Luke Clayton, Michael Thorbjornsen, my favorite Dane, JJ Spawn, and Ben Silverman. Everyone is going to click one of Thorbs or Clanton. I'm going to say right now, they're full fades for me. I bet Michael Thorbjornsen at 110 to 1 last week. He's now the second highest priced golfer in DraftKings, and he's 20 to 1 in the betting market. Yes, this field is a tad weaker than the John Deere Classic, but why am I going to bet a golfer at a fifth of the odds that I bet him at last week off of one good week? One good week. Yes, he's talented. Yes, I get that. But you're buying Bitcoin at 80K. Take a step back. Michael Thorbjornsen can easily finish T28 this week, and there's going to be so many birdies made. He got hot with the putter for one round, but he was fairly shaky with the putter outside of Saturday and Thursday. He was shaky. It wasn't great. He missed a lot of putts he could have made. Great ball striker, great player. Luke Clayton, I mean, he continues to just play great golf, but I'm going to this event is just so volatile, and I don't want a 20-year-old who's on a little hot stretch right now, whereas I can just get guys who I know are just going to maybe not be as safe, but I mean, maybe not have like the ceiling that the Clanton's shown the last 3 weeks, but can easily outperform their outcome and has a million times. So JJ Spawn and Ben Silverman are two golfers I absolutely love. JJ Spawn, what did I say on Wednesday night? Every single lineup lock. And he was playing really well up until Sunday, but I'm still gonna say that he paid off for you because he paid off for me. And then Ben Silverman, we bet him 175 to 1 last week. He never got in the mix, but he played really well. I think he finished around 18 under last week. Let me see exactly where he finished. And Ben Silverman was 18 under, T18. So played great golf. Just like he still lost by 10 though. So I'm going to go back to Silverman and Spawn because these two guys will hit fairways. They are very solid with their middle irons and wedges, and they can get very streaky with the putter. Ben Silverman's been putting so well. So 9K range. Before we get to 9K range, quickly, Underdog Fantasy. Pick 8 is now live. Create entries with up to 8 picks, and Underdog Fantasy will automatically double flex that entry. You can miss 2 picks and still win your entry. With more picks to make and extra ways to win, the excitement is higher than ever. The best part, you can win up to 325 times your original amount. You can now use specials and boosts on all flex entries. I can't wait to make a pick 8. I'm going to be making them from Wednesday to Saturday. Head over to SGPN.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com to see my picks. So sign up with code GOLFSGPN to claim your special pick, plus first-time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. Underdog Fantasy promo code GOLFSGPN. Circa is back with their Circa Survivor and Millions, giving away $16 million in guaranteed prizes. Rake-free contest as always. Circa Millions picked 5 teams in the NFL against the spread to compete for $6 million or survive the NFL gauntlet to claim the $10 million prize. Sign up in person at Circa Sports between now and September 7th, or use a proxy from anywhere. If you're looking for a proxy, head over to footballcontestproxy.com to save $50 at promo code SGP. All right, 9K range. Boog Knight, Daniel Berger at 9.6, down to Neil Ship, young stud. Some interesting names here. So Neil Ship, he did not play his best golf last week at the John Deere, and I think that has to do with like what he said. If you remember my Wednesday show, Neil Shipley, I was reading his quotes, and he was absolutely like lost with the course. He said something like, "This course is really difficult. The around the green is so hard that it's really going to de-emphasize it." First of all, I don't think the around the green was hard at all last week, and he said what he made no sense. He said if it was really hard, it would make the good player shine more, unless it was like as hard as freaking Pinehurst, where no one could get anything close. But it just made no sense. I'm not surprised that Neil Ship missed the cut, but I could see Neil Ship playing good golf. I do worry about the putter, and I honestly think he might be more of a difficult conditions guy because the putter is a bit bleak. So probably will pass Neil Ship. I could see Daniel Berger making some noise. Sorry, I didn't mean to click him right there. I could see Daniel Berger making some noise this week because people tried to get a little cute with Berger in some easy events, and he hasn't really gotten the job done. He missed his last 2 cuts, but the ball striking for Berger has been been around this year. Like it wasn't the ball striking that he's lost strokes putting in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 events. Am I saying he's just gonna find it this week and make a million putts? No. But am I saying that he's gonna play well enough and strike it well enough to make the cut, and then once he's there on the weekend, has a high ceiling, as high a ceiling as anyone? Yes. Now, Berger was never an easy conditions guy, an extreme birdie maker, but he's a golfer who got hot in stretches. Like Pebble got hot, FedEx St. Jude multiple times got hot, Grand Reserve like Puerto Rico got hot, Travelers got hot with the putter. He has it in him, and obviously this isn't prime Berger, but he's playing well enough, and I'm definitely down, and especially if we're gonna totally overlook him. So other guys in the 9K range that I want to give an eye to. Mike Kim makes somewhat sense, but I just can't get him at this price. I prefer a guy like Mac Meisner or Carson Young. Everyone's going to click Carson Young because of what he did last week at the John Deere Classic. He was in the mix, and he was making a ton of putts, making a ton of birdies, playing really well. Mac Meisner finished T20 at the JDC, gained 4 strokes on approach, his best week since Myrtle Beach, and gained another 2.5 putting. I love that profile from Meisner, and I think he can really have a good week. I can see myself getting him in multiple markets. I want to see what Carson Young did in terms of ball striking, because obviously he finished T5 last week at the JDC. He gained 9 strokes ball striking. I want to see where that stacks up. That was his best ball striking result of his career. 9 strokes ball striking and another 4 strokes putting. Applause, Carson Young. Applause. That is extremely good stuff. And he's now gained 5 strokes ball striking at the Canadian Open and 9 at the JDC. He's lost that ball striking, or he lost it early in the season, but it's back. So maybe I'm down for both of these guys. But so 9K range, I would lean with Berger, I would lean with Carson, and I would lean with Mac Meisner. Let's go down to the 8K range. SH Kim leads the way at 8.9. Come on, screen. Down to Grayson Sigg at 8K. I was on Sigg last week, and David Skins. I was on Sigg last week, and he really let me down. Sigg is a guy that I probably will go back to just because, like I said, if I like someone last week, try to stay strong. Try to ride him out. He's really good with his wedges, but he's just not in the best of form. And he's generally really good on approach. The approach was there last week. He gained 2.3 strokes on approach, which was his best week since May. I'm gonna try to stay strong and stay with Sig because I don't think he's gonna be popular at all. But I really do like David Skins. David Skins has just been playing great golf this year. He's kind of been better in the tougher conditions. Did David Skins play last week? Yeah, he missed a cut, which is not really enticing, but he finished T17 at Rocket. Like, if you could finish T17 at Rocket, you could play well here. So definitely down for some Skins at 7K. 8K. Top of this 8K range. Bridgman, SH Kim, Joel Damon, Dylan Wu. Dylan Wu makes a ton of sense. I really like Dylan Wu. The type of player he is a guy who's going to hit a ton of fairways, and he can get really hot with the wedges and with the putter. Joel Damon, what did he do last week? He finished T40. If you're finishing T46 at the JDC, like, that's just somewhat embarrassing. Kind of like, you're better than that. I'm probably going to pass on Damon. I would rather go with a young buck who I don't know enough about, or like, not that I don't know enough about. That's like that no one knows enough about. Like, we don't know what Jacob Bridgman's ceiling is, but we know that Jacob Bridgman is a really streaky putter, and we know that Jacob Bridgman has played good golf before. He finished T14 in Canada, played really well in Florida. Missed the cut last week, but he's played this event last year and he made the cut. So I think I like Bridgman, who's going to be really cheap. I always say cheap in terms of ownership. Like, no one's going to click him. So I'm definitely down for some Bridgman at the top of this 8K range. Middle of this 8K range, it's Wu. I'm not sure how you can go back to Springer. Springer had one really good round and then barely did anything since that 59. So Harry Hall, I kind of want to take a deep dive into Harry Hall, what he did last week. He obviously finished T12, had a rough Sunday, but Harry Hall could be finding good things. He's gained on approach in 2 straight starts, 3 straight made cuts, and he's gained on the putting greens 3 straight times. Harry Hall makes some sense. He talked about how he met up with Butch Harmon in Vegas, and it's paying dividends. So I can see myself getting to some Harry Hall too. So 8K range, those are my guys. Let's go 7K. Rico Hoy 7.9 all the way down to big range, all the way down to holy 7K flat, all the way down to there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys at 8K flat. So here's where we get to some DP World Tour golfers. I'm gonna take my stand, plant my flag, not a hot take. I do think a PGA Tour golfer wins this week, but I do think some DP World Tour golfers get in the mix and potentially are in the optimal lineup. Like think of the last year. What was his name? Was it Kinholz? Who finished second last year? 2023 Barbasol Championship. It wasn't Kinholz. It was Nathan Kimsey. Sorry, Nathan Kimsey finished runner-up last year. So there's going to be some, and Adrian Sadier too. Like there's going to be some random European Tour guys that get in the mix, and they haven't been showing on the DFS board until right now. So let's talk about some. Up at the top of the 7K, I'm not going to go with every freaking golfer, but I'm going to go top of 7K range. I like Toasty. If Vincent Norman can win this event, hitting the driver far and getting super hot with the putter, why can't Toasty? And Toasty missed the cut at the JDC, withdrew from the Rocket. Like that's horrendous form for Toasty, but it doesn't matter. I don't think you need any form for Toasty. Like this man almost won in Houston, coming off of 3 straight missed cuts, and a T75. He's still really long. He's just a streaky player who you play him on his courses. I'm probably going to bet Toasty, like at 70-1, whatever, and play him. So definitely down for some Toasty at the top of the 7K range. Middle of the 7K range, Alex Smalley. I want to take a look at Alex Smalley because he's definitely pissed that he's not playing in Scotland because he almost won the Scottish Open. But Alex Smalley, he needs to make some cuts. He's now has not made a cut since Myrtle Beach, and he has not gained ball striking since Valhalla. Definitely a tough scene for Smalley, who is just generally a great ball striker. But I'm going to say I think he makes the cut this week. He has to. Like he's a good golfer. He is a good golfer who works hard, and I think he needs a week. And you need to make the cut this week to contend in DraftKings. Like Smalley, like Toasty. Hayden Buckley's finding some things, and I really was upset when I saw Hayden Buckley on the leaderboard early in the week, and then he finished T34. So now back-to-back made cuts for Buckley, and I think he can pop. I really do. I like Hayden Buckley. He's gained strokes ball striking in 4 straight events. I love Hayden Buckley. I'm going to bet Hayden Buckley. He played this event 1 time, gained 7 strokes ball striking. Woo! But he lost 8 strokes putting. This is the worst putting performance ever. Wow. He lost 8 strokes putting here, worst of his career, but gained 6 ball striking. He's playing well enough. I like Buckley. Buckley is a lock in this. What is his price? Buckley is 7.5. Love Buckley. Probably going to freaking bet him right now. Okay, middle of the 7K range. Now we get into some names. Sammy Bairstow, a young DP World Tour stud who nearly won a ton of times already on the DP World Tour, and he is really good off the tee. He can send it and get hot with a putter. It's a golfer who we've seen good things of. Like he's finished top 10 two times in his last 8 starts. The form isn't really there yet, but that was the Italian Open, the US Open, and the European Open. All fields that were fairly strong. And if you could finish T10 at the Soudal Open, Ringfin is a course that's very, very narrow. You got to hit a ton of fairways. You could definitely do it here. So I definitely like some Sam B at $7,500. Ryan Moore, Kevin Streelman, play the hits. They know that they only have X amount of weeks that they can really contend. These are one of them. Same thing with Zach Blair. But Zach Blair has shown some good things this year and shown some good things of late. Zach Blair has made 3 of his last 4 cuts, Remember, Zach Blair was on the leaderboard somehow at the U.S. Open. Like, he finished T26 there, gained 2 gains. Oh my God, Zach Blair fucks. Like, he hits fairways and he's good with his wedges. He's made 4 cuts in 4 trips here. I mean, sorry, that's not true. Actually, that's apologies. He's played the Barbasol Championship 4 times, but he made 1 cut at Keen Trace. So Zach Blair, either way, I like Marty Dow. Where's Marty Dow? Is he in the 6K range? Because he's kind of popped on my name, but I bet him here last year. Where's Marty Dow? 6. Okay, I like Marty Dow for 6K. Remember that name, Marty Dow. I do like him. Sorry, my screen is freaking out right now. All right, bottom of the 7K range. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Filippo Celli, an Italian who played really well in Italy and at the BMW International, I believe, or was it just one or the other? Either way, I want to see his stat profile because these incoming DP World Tour golfers who are in good form, they will top 10. They simply just will. So I don't mind him. He played well recently. I gotta make my screen bigger. Sorry. Gavin Green, ball striking savant, has played really well in the last. I bet him all the time on the DP World Tour. Gavin Green has made, let's see how many cuts or his recent form. A great, I believe he's Malaysian. I want to look it up now. Gavin Green ethnicity, Malaysian. I got that right. Let's go. I know my flags. So Gavin Green has made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cuts in a row, and he's gained ball striking in 4 of 5, capped off by 10 strokes ball striking gained at the KLM Open. I like him a lot to hit fairways. He's a great middle iron player and just get really hot. So what's his price? His price is 73. I'm down. Like, why would I we know what we're getting with a guy like Henrik Norlander, Garrett Higo, and we'd be pissed. We'd be like Kevin Twite. We'd be pissed. Why not take a shot on a golfer you don't know? Throw some Gavin Green in there. Justin Suh has been so disappointing this year. And he's a golfer that I love to bet. And as a golfer that I'm so high on in like these types of events, but can I find any way to get to Justin Suh? He has not finished higher than T50 since Valspar. He's made 5 cuts out of 17 this year. He has not gained strokes ball striking since a full stroke ball striking since the Charles Schwab, but he played last week. Like, he finished T73 last week at the JDC. I wonder why Justin Suh's so bad. I need eyes on him. I'm going to text my buddy Ryan and see if he can get me eyes on Justin Suh. So, Ryan, if you're listening to this, get eyes on Justin Suh. Okay, a few more names in the 7K range because the 7K range is so big. Parker Cootie 7-1. Where's Pearson Cootie? Because I want to mention him. 7-6. I do like Pearson Cootie at 76 more than Parker just because he's had some spike ball striking of late and he's the better putter of the two. My favorite play, I think, in the whole board is Hayden Buckley. Bottom of the 7K range. Let's get back down there, boys. Let's get back down there. All right. ADDC. Simply put, you play Adrian Dumont Dechasart in the Midwest. Everyone knows that. You play ADDC in the Midwest. He went to college at Illinois. He's boys with Vincent Norman. They're both Viking Cup future members. Obviously, Belgium and Sweden, they're not next to each other, but Sweden has taken Belgium to play in the Viking Cup. So ADDC, you play him in easy scoring conditions. More specifically, you play him in the Midwest. So I do like him a little bit. Jaden Shaper, a young South African. I believe he's South African. Now I got to do my Jaden. Just so you know, he is South African. Every time I do these shows, like, I don't sit behind the scenes and prep like crazy for multiple reasons. I don't get paid enough to do that. But I just like remember things and I talk on the fly. And obviously, if I say anything wrong, either I'll try to correct myself or someone will correct me in the chat or something. But I just like remember things like Jaden Shaver, young South African, but he's so good at putting. He is so good at putting. He's not the best ball striker. He's streaky there, but he's not scared to get in the mix. So I want to look at Jaden Shaper a little bit and see really what his incoming form is, because I believe it was China he played really well. Let's see. No, it was the European Open. He played really well. He's really solid off the tee. Like he gained strokes off the tee, but he putts amazingly every single week. So I'm down for Shaper. He's so good at putting. He can get streaky and gain 8 strokes putting and finish T3. Like that a lot for Shaper. Anyone else down here? People are going to play Micheluzzi because he played really well at the BMW International last week, but I wouldn't buy that. I wouldn't buy that. All right, 6K range. And you guys know I'm going to have a 6K show for this event. I don't mess around. I have a lot of traveling to do. Next week's going to be tough. I don't know what I'm going to do next week because I'm leaving for Scotland on Friday and I have to cover the Scottish Open and the Barracuda next week. I got to find some time because you guys need the 6K psychos for the Barracuda. So off the top of my head, 6K bullets here. We're not looking great yet. Matthias Schwab? What's he been up to? What's Matthias Schwab been up to? Let's see. He's gained an approach in 3 straight starts and made 2 of his last 3 cuts with a T10. What more can you ask for? This guy knows his way around the PGA Tour too. Matthias Schwab at what price? 66? Fuck yeah. Yeah, this 6K range is as bleak as can be. Scott Kacheski, absolute merchant from 175 to 200. So if you're looking for some 175, 200 shots, Scott G is your guy. There's definitely some guys down here. Dude, the Iceman. Okay. That Guxin Shen. I don't think you have to go this deep. There's no 5K range, thankfully. But I will have a more professional and deep dived 6K range for you next week. Tom Whitney, though. I like Tom Whitney. Tom Whitney missed the cut on the number, I believe, at the JDC. And he's a golfer who needs easy conditions and needs to make cuts more than anything. But more than anything, Tom Whitney has gained strokes ball striking in 1, 2, 3, 4 straight events, missed 5 straight cuts, and he might be the worst putter than me. I tweeted today about my 4-foot putts, how bad they were. Tom Whitney might be worse, but I do like Tom Whitney from a ball striking and cut making perspective. So that wraps it up. Really quickly, one more ad. Talk about Rhythm real quick. If you're planning on watching either the Scottish or the Barbasol ISCO, you need to download Rhythm. Rhythm's golf features make it easier than ever to find the best betting opportunities for both tournaments, create custom betting models, and instantly see bet recs for outrights, T5s, T10s, T20s, and more. Rhythm presents these bet recs in a menu-led format, making it easy to see where your models agree or disagree, helping you feel confident in your betting decisions. Rhythm also features an AI caddy, which gives bettors a chance to see every single golfer in the field's simulated performance thanks to their powerful AI algorithm. You can use this to find huge plus money betting opportunities throughout every tournament. Download Rhythm, huge ultimate golf betting and DFS companion, 7-day free trial. Claim your free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. That wraps it up. I will catch you guys tonight or tomorrow with some 6K Psychos, best bets, ton of content coming. You guys know where to find me. Any questions, DM me. I'll catch you very soon. Peace out.